Princess Charlotte is worth billions on paper. She's the third in line to the British throne, surrounded by palaces, helicopters, and armed guards every single day. But she flies economy, under a fake name, on 73-pound tickets. This is how the world's richest kid actually travels, and why. The richest kid on a budget flight. Princess Charlotte of Wales is third in line to the British throne. Her father, Prince William, inherited the Duchy of Cornwall when King Charles III took the crown in September 2022, an estate that generated a distributable surplus of £22.9 million for the 2000-425 financial year. That money covers the Wales family's official duties, charitable work, and private expenses. Her grandfather draws income from the Duchy of Lancaster, roughly £28.7 million in recent figures, plus private estates like Balmoral and Sandringham, whose full value is not publicly disclosed. The Crown Estate, the property empire that funds the monarchy's official operations, posted record profits driven by offshore wind farm leases, pushing the sovereign grant to £132.1 million for 2025-26, a staggering 53% increase from the year before. Charlotte lives between Adelaide Cottage in Windsor Great Park, Kensington Palace in London, and Anmere Hall in Norfolk. She has access to royal residences, private estates, and a financial infrastructure stretching back centuries. The combined wealth pipeline feeding this single-family duchy revenues, crown estate profits, sovereign grant allocations, private investments, and centuries of accumulated property places Charlotte at the center of one of the richest institutional frameworks on Earth. She does not have a bank account stuffed with billions. She does not sign checks. But the financial machinery that keeps her fed, housed, educated, transported, and protected operates at a scale that dwarfs the net worth of most corporate dynasties. And in August 2019, she sat in economy class on a Flybe turboprop from Norwich to Aberdeen on a ticket that cost about £73. Let that satisfying little detail sink in for a moment. £73. That is what it cost to fly the daughter of the future King of England across the United Kingdom. William, Kate, Charlotte, George, Louis, and their nanny boarded a budget Bombardier-8 propeller plane alongside regular passengers. No private terminal, no luxury lounge, no fleet of attendants clearing a velvet-roped path. They carried hand luggage. They walked across the tarmac in full view of other travelers. Fellow passengers photographed the family disembarking at Aberdeen, the household behind a fortune worth billions in combined crown assets. Stepping off the same regional aircraft used by commuters heading to the Scottish Highlands for the weekend. This is how Princess Charlotte travels. Prince George, as a baby, was booked as Baby Jones. Royal expert Emily Andrews confirmed this pseudonym practice in a Channel 5 documentary. The names go through the protection team, not a royal secretary. The airline receives a discreet last-minute briefing. Gate staff learn the truth minutes before boarding. The passenger in the next row never finds out. Think about that. A family that could charter an entire aircraft with pocket change from a single quarter's duchy income instead chooses to sit in the same narrow seats, breathe the same recycled cabin air, and endure the same overhead bin shuffle as every other passenger on a 50-seat regional turboprop. Kate and the children, including Charlotte, have been spotted on economy flights to Balmoral on multiple occasions. The pattern repeats with meticulous consistency. Casual clothes, hand luggage, no entourage. Clothes protection officers from the Metropolitan Police sit in dressed in plain clothes. Jeans, jackets, backpacks. Invisible to anyone who does not know what to look for. The girl who stands to inherit privileges most people will never taste waits in the same boarding queue, sits by the same window, and fastens the same seatbelt as everyone else. The entire system depends on the fact that most travelers are too absorbed in their own phones and carry-on bags to notice the family behind a multi-billion-pound estate sitting 3 rows behind them. And yet, this is the same girl who sounds like this in front of the cameras. Completely disarming. Completely normal. That was Charlotte asking Sir David Attenborough about spiders during her very first official royal engagement, and she sounded like any child chatting with a favorite grandparent, not like someone whose family sits on a financial empire worth billions. The family flies budget for 3 reasons. Private jets are lavishly expensive, and the British public watches every penny of crown spending with sharpening scrutiny. The Sovereign Grant Annual Report for 2024-25 showed £4.7 million spent on official travel alone, covering helicopters, chartered flights, and scheduled services for the entire royal household. Every high-profile private charter gets flagged by tabloids and anti-monarchy campaigners. A family on a 7.3-pound budget flight looks prudent and responsible. A family stepping off a Gulf Stream while the country struggles through a cost-of-living crisis looks profoundly tone-deaf. But the deeper reason is not cost. William and Kate want Charlotte to understand what a normal queue feels like. That choice is calculated. It is parenting. And it is also public relations for an institution acutely aware that its extravagant spending is increasingly difficult to justify. That deliberate contrast, the immense fortune behind the scenes, the ordinary experience in front of the cameras, defines how Princess Charlotte moves through the world. And the fake names on boarding passes are only the beginning, because the luxury she can actually access when the situation calls for it paints an entirely different picture. The luxury fleet she can access but rarely uses. The Wales family is not limited to budget airlines. When security demands it, when the trip is official, or when the destination crosses international borders, the full weight of the Crown's travel apparatus deploys, and the resources at its disposal are nothing short of staggering. For international state visits and high-profile engagements, the family uses RAF jets, typically the Airbus Voyager, a military-grade wide-body aircraft repurposed for VIP transport, or chartered private planes, or helicopters from the King's helicopter flight. The Voyager is not a modest aircraft by any measure. It is a converted Airbus, a 330, the same airframe used by major commercial carriers to shuttle hundreds of passengers across oceans and continents. When configured for royal use, it transforms into a flying private suite, secure communications equipment, private cabins, space for staff, protection officers, and senior advisors. The cost of a single long-haul royal journey on this aircraft can run into hundreds of thousands of pounds. The King's visit to Samoa and Australia, for instance, reportedly cost over £400,000. Then there are the helicopters. The King's helicopter flight operates 2 Augusta Westland AW-139 aircraft based at RAF Oldham, used for rapid hops between royal residences, events, and engagements scattered across the English and Scottish countryside. Each AW-139 is a multi-million-pound twin-engine machine, the same model used by VIP transport services worldwide, prized for its speed, range, and cabin size. William, who served as a search and rescue pilot, and later an air ambulance pilot, knows these machines with an intimacy that most royals before him never possessed. Helicopter travel compresses what would be a 3-hour motorway crawl into a 40-minute flight over patchwork fields and rolling hills. For a family constantly splitting time between Windsor, London, Norfolk, and Scotland, the helicopter is not an indulgent luxury. It is a logistical necessity funded by a budget that would qualify as generational wealth for an ordinary household. Thanks for watching. Like this video and subscribe to our channel to always be here with us. Check out our other content by clicking on the screen.